Hello, welcome to Down with Dragons here on Monsters of Roll on Twitch. It is 7 o'clock Central Time, and we're all here to dive back in to our main campaign. Hopefully, everybody's had a great week. I am DM Scott. With me, as always,
Killian playing Maven Corpseflower, and I wasn't gone for 4 weeks, and I totally know what's going on.
And Mick playing Callan Den. Hey, everybody, let's play.
Chris playing Viet, and Viet is totally not freaking out in this dark, enclosed space in the middle of the Forgotten Waste desert. It's all fine, perfectly fine.
Everything's fine.
Catherine playing Juniper Swift, who is absolutely freaking out in this tiny, dark, enclosed space. Not really. She's fine.
awesome. I'm glad to hear everyone is so put together, and it's
so
going to be great.
Everything's great. We're fine.
Keep it together. Keep it together.
How are you? How are you though?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So before I guess we dive into everything, I hear we have our regular reporter out in the field. Killian, can you hear me? Sorry.
No.
Well,
it's been too long.
It's been a while, hasn't it? I got stuck here on a fishing trip here up in the North Woods, and I lost internet connection, and I thought, oh boy, it's peaceful up here. I think I might stay for a couple weeks. And boy, howdy, what do you know? It's 4 weeks later, but here I am. I found a cell tower, hacked myself in, and here you go. We got a couple announcements this week. So our first announcement is, like always, if you don't have enough Dungeons and Dragons in your life, and let's be honest, who does? You can go ahead and check out our sister production, Dungeon Patrol, at www.dungeonpatrol.com. They're funny. I can't think of any more adjectives, but they're a good watch. The story is interesting, and they upload every Sunday, I think. Is it still Sundays? Heck yeah, they upload every Sunday. I'm good at this. Fuck right in here. Again, check them out at www.dungeonpatrol.com. We also have a Redbubble store. The URL is somewhere down below, and you can go check us out. You want to sleep with Maven's face next to your head every night? Let's be real. Who doesn't? You can get it right down below in the little linky box there. We also have a bunch of inspiration from our number one fan, Reed. Hey, bud. We have so much inspiration here that I have to read off of my phone, and I have ensnared Catherine to help me because we have so much. Keep it up. I need this inspiration. I've been gone too long. My rolls are going to be garbage. All right. So the first ones that I've got here, inspiration points for you, Mick, Callan Den. Here we go. Your first inspiration point, sir, was from your interaction with Meredith, really enjoying watching Callan grow and learn about his past and his family. The second one is from when Callan heard the call of the axe. This is a personal note. Mick, you're just as smooth as Callan, able to think on your feet and flow the dialogue around through Callan. In quotations, I do quote, unparalleled. High praise.
Yes, I'm that good. It's true.
You're pretty freaking good. And the last one here is for you questioning your judgment after the maiden revoked her offer for you to choose her champion. That's so different, seeing how maybe the fool is rethinking things, very unlike how you used to handle things after jumping into a decision.
Wow, those are some thoughtful inspirations, Reed. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Reed. These are awesome. For Catherine, I've got one for ya here for your awesome intro into the group. I think this should be 2, because the second one is for dusting all of those zombies to save the children. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Congrats on joining Down with Dragons from Reed. So I'm going to give you 2. Reed gave you 1, but I'm giving you 2 for dusting all those zombies. All right, take it away.
I am going to jump in here. Reed has given 3 inspiration points to Maven as he's been rewatching all of our older episodes. First, for helping the group in Dragonlock. Finding her daughter seems to have changed her in some cool ways, and seeing her take responsibility for others like that, where before she maybe would have just looked out for herself, was pretty cool. Second, for taking the kids under her wing, giving them the stained glass daggers and telling them stories at night, especially to her soon-to-be adopted son, Max. It was super fun. And he was really looking forward to Maven telling bedtime stories of Max the Destroyer, who sacrificed the weak so they could win in battle. And then third, for the emotional conversation that she had with Daruk at the end of episode 24, Restless. I just lost my place. Hitting the audience in the feels is what the last part was.
Those were real tears, my man.
Absolutely. Next up, Chris. For Viet, feeding Daruk and choosing to fatten up the rat. The physical acting between the two of them was really fun to watch. Second inspiration, the relationship between Viet and Manny and Fenris, and getting a feeling of how close the three of them had become when at the end of episode 20, Regrets in the Mist, Viet is saying to himself, I wish they were here. And third, for Viet constantly asking everyone to show their eyes, especially when he first runs into Juniper.
Show your eyes.
Show your eyes.
And Scott. First, for playing Manny and Fenris so well in episode 19, Baggage. You did a great job with the voices and the mannerisms. I
had good instruction, though. I mean,
second, for Max, incredible dialogue between him and Maven. He loved the physical acting there as well. And then seeing his eyes change and turning into did not see that coming. Third, at the end of episode 23, Jury Duty, the entire Cypress quest sucked Reed completely in. But when Callan was talking to the maiden about how to save the town, and you gave him the two wolves comparison, that was a tough choice for Callan. Well done. And fourth, man, for the end of episode 24, Restless, was very emotional, and it did a great job of creating the scene and making it come alive. You're very good at leaving the audience wanting more. And fifth and finally, most importantly, Reed's taking an inspiration point away for giving Fenris pants.
Yeah, someone's on my side.
That's fair.
Yep. Good call.
So that was
I get it.
the Halloween candy smorgasbord of inspiration points Reed was handing out there.
Oh,
Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Reed.
Thank you,
My
Reed.
basket is full.
Yeah,
thank you,
The
Reed.
pumpkin is
Appreciate it.
And on that note, dear folks, I'm gonna hand it back on over to your benevolent DM, Scott. Hey, how the hell are you doing, Scott? How's the weather down there?
Well, ironically, it's hot. It's real hot. Thank you very much, Killian. I couldn't resist just when you gave me that, nice little softball.
You gotta watch out for those vacations in the Feywild. You lose a lot of time there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I stepped into a mushroom circle. Next thing you know, bing, bang, boom, coming out of the ocean like it's freaking Inception. I don't know.
I like how, right, break Maven's heart, kill Callan multiple times, right? Give Viet a brand new psychosis that he wasn't planning on. Hurt Seely's feelings, make her cry, and you make an NPC wear pants, and the viewers are up in arms. They don't care about us. Like,
Cry on live TV. Nothing.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't
well,
get Fenris pants.
yeah. No, that's
Well,
that's
at
what
least
everybody's
I know
upset
where
about.
the boundaries are.
Yeah.
Right about belly button height. That's what
I mean,
that was something I just noticed that, like, right? Thank you,
Yeah,
viewers.
no.
I'm glad that you feel are invested, but
Yeah.
it's just a little ironic.
I love
it. You're only doing it to yourself.
I'm sure that's how like certain and like producers and stuff at TV shows feel like, we can keep pushing it. They love everything. They love everything. And then all of a sudden, they hated that?
No,
I hated
pants.
Pants, they hate it. Oh my God. Cancel the show.
That's why I left, actually, was you gave Fenris pants.
I mean,
couldn't
yeah,
take it.
no, you needed time
I
to
did.
get over that. So, thank you, Reed. Thank you, Killian. Thank you, everyone. It's been fun so far, but let's see if we can keep going from our nice little break. We had a cool, spooky witch episode. Thank you, Chris, for running that.
Thank you all.
I
That was a lot of
enjoyed
fun.
it. And yeah, so last time, which was a while ago, we were in the desert. That seems to be a theme lately. It's hot. There's a lot of sand. The group was making their way. And a sandstorm, man. They saw some weird lights in the distance. A sandstorm came out of freaking nowhere. There's no way a low perception check was part of that. Multiple perception checks. And yeah, the storm hit. Some very creative thinking to get around the worst parts of it. And then, like land shark or sand shark type things came at it. Yeah. And a weird blue-eyed and blue antennae kind of creature in the sandstorm. And a weird giant tent that's alive. And that is where you've been for the last 9 days, as this sandstorm has been just relentless. 5 days. Sorry, 5 days sandstorm. Sorry, 9. Jeez,
How's
that's
the
on.
tent
I thought it was
smell?
I thought it was a 9-day sandstorm.
Was it? Hold on, I've got.
Wait, I think we need to answer Maven's question
What was the
here.
Raven's question?
How's the tent smelling?
How's the tent smelling?
Like sweaty dwarf at this point.
Yeah, right? Do we poop in the sandstorm? Not to be crass.
You must be
but
burying it. You need to be burying it.
litter box.
This
We're
is the
living in a litter
latrine
box.
trench here.
Yeah, how's that feel, Callan, to probably be put on poop duty with your shape Earth, just to remove Earth, just to.
Yeah, that'd be the way to go. I'd probably see if there's an easier way. The tent is alive. Maybe see if the
very much.
Is there some in recycling
How we state this
mechanism within this tent? Does he find that sort of matter appealing?
We can, I think we
Well,
can
you have the
imagine we're in a
head
fantastical
down at you.
scenario
Yeah.
on this one, but
No, you have the head
Magic
looking
hole
down
in
at
the
you.
ground.
Who knows what's out there? So anyway, so over the last how many days outside of basic, we're just going to keep this in the fantasy of like Star Trek. We assume they take care of it. We just never see a bathroom. So as we're going through these 5 days, what's going on with everybody? Let's say fifth day, we're getting in there. Like, what are things that have been happening?
Well, the absurdity of it all probably carries Callan for a good, 3 days. So he's housekeeping. He's been put on the housekeeping duties of certain sorts. So he just plays it up. He sweeps the floor every day. Offers the tent little treats with his telekinesis mage hand.
Okay.
Talks to it like it's a plant or something, and but after that,
who's the good tent? Yes, you are.
yeah.
Starts to quiver. You're like, oh no.
After that, it's it's a little. Oh, come on! This is unnatural. Sandstorm lasting this long. Come on.
Like it's magic.
Getting a little grumpy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I can see that.
That's pretty much June's plan too, is to befriend the tent
Hmm.
Step one. She would probably be checking for signs of like condensation on the inside, things that might indicate that this creature works like a carnivorous plant. Like the first couple days are probably really touch and go trying to figure that out. And then as the days go on, probably like, well, I think if it was going to eat us, it probably would have tried at least one of us by now. Like sort of that. And yeah, absolutely getting a little grumpier just as the days go on.
You know what? Roll me an animal handling just while you're you know, for just in general for your couple days.
Oh, that's not too bad actually. That was 15. 19 total.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So,
All right. Okay.
I would say that you'll find that no, there's none of the signs that it is trying to actually devour you or anything like that. Though, you do notice that after a little bit of like a day or so, like if anybody is ever like in winter, very sensitive to like dry air and stuff and gets nosebleeds and stuff like that, you get the sense that maybe that is partially how it's taking some of its own intake of liquids, is that
that's
it
where
is
the
in
liquids
some way
go.
taking it from you while giving you shelter.
Okay.
Just through kind of the heat and air you're breathing out and exhaling, and you know.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so the air gets progressively drier. You know, that's about as hostile as you get a vibe.
I figured out the bathroom situation.
Even
Sorry, I figured it out.
make sure
We can proceed with the story.
Hydrated.
We've got
Yeah.
this blast.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
we
glad
got it.
you're
I'm
happy with how
satisfied.
good. Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
So keeping everybody hydrated with the create food and water would be probably a priority after that then.
Yeah. All right.
And
Maven,
mentioning that to everybody.
Okay. And Maven, you've been kind of aloof for
I'm
a
moody.
good. Yeah. So you've
I'm
been
pissed.
spending a lot of time as an animal until you got stuck in this tent.
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
this
you
tent
still could,
is-
but
Yeah. Is there anything akin to? I know, like we're in the middle of a sandstorm, so probably tent flaps are a bad idea. But is there anything akin to like an opening?
I mean, you don't feel like it'd be real hard to like kind of work up one of the edges to go underneath it if you had to.
Maven's been staying to the outside. She's pissy. That's what I'll say here. For two reasons. One, to be outside of animal form. She's just going through it and she doesn't want to be in her human form right now. And two, for a reason that we'll figure out as we go. But right now she's just being a little quiet, a little pissy, sitting by the edge of the tent flap, periodically peeking out. Nothing's changing, but doesn't hurt to check every 10 minutes.
Fair. Viet, how about you?
So for Viet, I'm imagining as the days are going by and the wind just keeps blowing on the sand, like more and more sand maybe piling up against this and maybe kind of
absolutely
kind of muffling sound and becoming more cave-like. Right, starting to lose even whatever light's drifting through the right, starting to lose more, like so feeling more and more like a underground prison perhaps. So Viet, after the first couple of days, would probably be keeping very much to himself over by his wherever he staked out his bedroll, keeping all of his gear close by, and probably having various conversations with himself. May notice like Quincy's voice coming out, Manny's voice, and then everybody shouts Manny down. Occasionally Fenris, and probably some voices speaking Dwarven as well as he's going along. And then finally, probably about that fifth day, would just get up, and he's just going to be pacing back and forth, just real agitated, making sure all his stuff is get together, and he's going to pause and look at each of you and Murdit as well, and you are all being new here, so I'm giving you advice. Yes, they're going to let us out soon, and we're going to need to run. You need to run as hard and fast as you can, and you need to try to get away. And but if they get you, they're going to get in your head. And like his beard, just kind of tugging at his beard, and they're going to get in your head, and you will be seeing things. And they make you fight, and fight, and you may have to kill somebody. And he's kind of scrubbing at the tattoos on his chest, his arm. But if you did, just do it quick, and then you take that and you put it way down. You push it down under the skin, but you need to live. So that's what you will do. Yes, you will run, and then you will fight, and you will do it quick. If you have to be killing people, they will be in their heads, and we need to be ready to run. You should be doing push-ups and stretches and being ready. And then you'll hear Quincy's voice. Push-ups. Yes, let's go do some push-ups, mon ami. Do some P. I've got him now, but he fights like marteau faux, yes? Oui? And then you'll hear Manny. It's always a good day for push-ups. Strong body, strong mind, right, Viet? These pants, I can't breathe. And then a chorus of, the pants stay on. And Viet will go back to his bedroll, and he's basically doing push-ups and Dwarven yoga for how much longer we got going on.
How much space is within this tent?
It was about like a 10-foot by 10-foot kind of dome.
So we're pretty on top of each other here. Like, I mean, a 5-foot dwarf is taking up
4 foot and a half.
Yeah.
We
4
gained some.
3/4.
Yeah.
He checked.
4 and a half. That extra 4 inches he grew.
Yeah.
He's now
Oh,
4
that's
foot
right.
6.
Yeah.
He's literally. I had to go look. He's 4 foot 6. Sorry,
Oh my
but it's
goodness.
important,
It is.
which is why
Well,
his pants are tight. We've been over this.
I was going to go chat with Viet, but it looks like
Yeah.
he's got all 5 sides of that conversation covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bernard's just gonna
Yeah.
quietly whisper and just be like, well, at least he didn't say kick the biggest guy in the tent's butt.
Oh, yeah.
Prison, yeah.
That's you. You don't have any.
Right. And he's scary right now, to be honest.
Hmm.
All of them.
I would pass along his advice to run, but there's nowhere to run. This is absurd, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is.
434, 435.
I want to stick
Yeah.
my hand out of the tent.
You want to what?
You want to what?
I want to stick my arm out of the tent.
It's sand.
I know, but how fast is it going? Does it hurt?
No, it's sand.
Yeah.
Like
So it hurts?
underground sand.
So I can stick my arm out.
And it's completely
up?
submerged in sand.
I go up.
Covered.
You want to uncover yourself?
Yes.
So you're gonna try and slip out.
No. I want to see how fast it's moving.
I get what you're saying, and you're not
Yeah.
getting what I'm saying. 5
Oh.
days of sandstorm. This tent is kind of getting buried.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
So
Oh,
you stick your
gosh.
hand in sand and
Yeah.
start to, it's sand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I want to try to I'm gonna say I'll be right back to everybody. I'm gonna dig myself out. I'm gonna try.
So
Just don't bury us in, though.
Well, I don't think I can do that.
Well, where are you
Okay.
going to put the sand?
Out of the I'm gonna go like this. Just like that.
If
so
only you could
uh,
change into some sort of digging animal.
Oh, yeah. Can I wild shape?
I'm
due to the
sorry,
fact
did I
that
give her
you
ideas?
forgot how it works.
Yeah, no. Can I
yes.
wild shape into a cobra? They don't dig really, but they're snakes.
Yes.
So like
You're
this.
hood and all.
Cool.
There are
This-
snakes that dig.
I'm gonna snake my way through the sand.
due to the fact of, I think it'd be just a fun idea that you've been so pissy about not being able to be in animal form, and on day 5, because you can't dig out, you turn into an animal to try to dig out, and immediately Murder's like, she could have done that the entire time. It's been cramped.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
So-
it would be rude to tell her that she has to stay outside.
I mean,
she would
she
have
could
taken
have
up
been-
like 2 inches of space.
Yeah. Like,
That's
Oh,
I
yeah.
just been a snake this whole time.
Yeah.
Then I would have
Also-
started biting you guys. You wouldn't
So-
like that.
roll me a strength check with disadvantage because you're a snake
Yeah, a very
trying to
cool
burrow
snake.
right now, which it takes time. I mean, snakes
Can
can
I
do
add
it.
cool to that?
Oh, you won't have to worry about cool. I got you.
Ooh, 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 that's
Oh,
stinky too.
Perfect. So as you
Mm.
kind of just start working, and like everything you do, the same. There's no moisture. It's not hard. You can't work a hole. It's just collapsing. Murder looks around. He's like, I mean, I'm gonna help because I feel like we should help our friends, right? And he's gonna grab the snake, Maven,
Yeah.
and he's just gonna shove you through as hard as he can.
I love that. Yes, this is awesome. I don't even
And
bite him.
he's just gonna pull his hand back out. He's like, Godspeed.
Yeah, hopefully I can get back in.
So roll me one more strength check. I'm gonna say this one's just a flat because you were assisted.
Yeah.
And are you
Ooh.
using snake stats, by the way?
Yeah, that's an 18.
Perfect. So that being said, you do manage to and just boom, and just a hood. And there's no wind.
Hmm?
The sandstorm is over. You kind of look behind and you can see in the distance just a black, cloud on the other horizon. But
Good old Maven.
you're out.
Okay. Well, all right. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Maven's a snake for just a minute. Just maybe 10 minutes. Maven's gonna bask in the sun just a little, right? Because, yeah, it feels real good. The sun
Yeah.
do be shining.
You're
The
cold-blooded too.
Mm-hmm. Sand is warm. It's peace and quiet. No one's doing push-ups. Paradise.
471.
Yeah. The scent has definitely improved.
I believe it. Yeah. I kiss the air with my little snake tongue. I go, delish. Didn't realize how stinky it was in there until I got out. The smell left my snake nose, and I said, you see a little snake laying there in the sun going,
We don't see you.
After about
Well,
10 minutes, yeah, it's like everyone down inside's like, I mean, she could be dead. I mean,
and I'm just living my best life. If I could, the little snake would be holding up that little aluminum trifold. with
you
some
are Cobra.
sunglasses
You
on.
can just at least hood the.
I could do that, but it's more funny.
I get you.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying myself on the sun. And then I guess on it, okay, so being real, the first thought was enjoy the sun. Because lizard brain, I guess snake brain in this case, it kind of just was like, enjoy your life for the first time in a while. And then I'm like, shoot, I should go tell them. So little snake baby, how deep is the tent buried?
From here, like looking around, it looks like you can see like a small hump of sand.
Okay.
Not a lot, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's evidence of it.
Okay. I'm going to cast a spell here on the tent.
You gonna come out a snake?
Do I not have
What are
speak
you
with
casting
animals?
on this shelter?
I don't have speak with
living thing.
I'm a druid that doesn't have speak with frickin' animals.
Because you're a fungi,
No one said
mossy
no one
spore
said
druid.
you're a good druid when it comes to the animal side of it. You're good
That's
with the
true.
poison,
I can
death,
turn
and
into them.
destruction. Yeah.
Yeah, I can turn into them. That's about it. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna.
And really, in the Deadwood, speak with animals. It's just, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
I'm gonna kill you. Like,
Can we
what's
talk
a-
about this? No.
No talking, only murder. Okay, I'm gonna knock on top of the tent. I don't know if that'll do anything.
You can move some sand,
Mhm,
and eventually, it's not very deep at the very top, but you're kind of at the top, and you do see there is almost this little leathery hump
Mhm.
on top of the rest of the tent.
Yeah.
Kind of think like armadillo, kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you can see the rest of it going down,
weird.
and you can just kind of lightly, and like all of you will start to hear the uncovering, and you'll even see like the little leathery bat foxy armadillo face just kind of like looks
Hey, man.
mildly,
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to it. Hey,
is Maven wearing the earring?
I believe so.
I think I am. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna talk to this little armadillo and say, "Hey, man. So were you gonna tell us that the storm was over?"
Oh, so do you have that spell? I thought you said you didn't.
No, I'm just gonna talk to it in English while I'm.
Oh,
tapping
fair.
it.
Okay, no, that's fair. So yeah, as you're tapping and working around, you just start talking to it.
Mhm,
You all inside start to hear it, yet you start to hear the sound of
like a
sand
drum.
and like
The drums of war.
Viet has this like, bedroll is rolled up and tied around his shoulder, like he's ready. He's got his
Yeah.
hammer out.
and
What was that? They're coming. What?
Get ready to run.
No.
All right, I'm throwing a little
Get
too
to the
much
chopper.
Arnold. Yeah, I'm throwing a little too much
Get to
Arnold
the
in this.
chopper.
Get to the chopper. I am gonna take my weapon out, just
Okay.
mace in hand, like
Viet would
Yeah.
not.
because I don't know what's going
hammer
on.
out.
Yeah.
And I wanna call Maven then and say, Maven, are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, I hate it. No, just kidding.
Wait here.
who is this?
She's not okay.
She's dead. So you're not gonna believe this. Well, maybe you will. The storm's over, and our little friend is fine, I guess. But I can't tell you how. Can I do a perception check or a nature check maybe to see how far the storm is?
Oh,
How long it's been since it ended?
Just tell me how you're looking. Are you just looking in the distance and trying to gauge,
Yeah,
or are you
trying
just
to-
looking for evidence? So like the nature-y.
I'm trying to
Pulse.
see the distance of the clouds, but also the speed,
Perception.
Perception. Okay. I can do that. Ooh, that is that's not too bad. I forgot I had a +5. 16.
16. Probably from the distance and the speed, it looks like it's also starting to disperse as well. What's left probably within the last hour,
Okay. So it left here about an hour ago.
more or less. Like it may
Okay,
have
that's
still
not
been
too
a little.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
What
like
if
it's
the
not like
thing
6
is-
days. You've been here for 5. It's been over for 4.
Yeah, right? Like here's the thing. This thing is getting water from us.
Oh, sure.
I mean, if I was a water-sucking monster, armadillo, umbrella thing, I might keep some dumb people inside of me during a sandstorm so that I could get sustenance in the middle of a desert. I'm just saying. Could happen.
Hunting
yeah.
by attrition. I get it.
Well,
there's-
maybe
didn't
since
check.
we're creating food and water, I can telekinesis him up a bowl of water and he can lap
Aw.
at that. And,
Absolutely.
sounds
Yeah,
cute.
we've been feeding and watering this baby.
right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, nah, okay. Maybe it's gotten the environment a little bit better in there. Hasn't
Is
seemed
our
to help the
giant
smell, but
bathroom.
yeah. So as you are talking this, and you've kind of uncovered and are talking, uncovering more,
Mhm.
all of a sudden you do feel like the entire thing starts to quiver a little bit, and
Yeah.
then suddenly you're all covered in sand, and there's bright light as basically it folds up into itself
Sorry.
and just returns into like this little leathery armadillo ball about the size of like like a small watermelon,
Yeah.
Cute.
and just
Is it heavy?
Computer.
oh, it's very dense, but I mean 5 to 10 pounds still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
I
absolutely.
mean, it's
gonna
not
pick
like
that thing up.
yeah.
This is my
Yeah.
child now. I'm picking it up.
Yeah, we don't want to leave him all alone in the desert.
No.
Viet is
Armadillo. He'll be
digging his
fine.
way up the dune and running.
Yeah, so as the
Do you-
sand hits you
which-
all, and it like within a few just you all are wiping and pick up the ball and look around, and Viet is
I Do
heading out
is
into
he
the sand.
One more
Is he at least
spell.
running the right way?
Hey Viet, roll me a D4. We'll say a 4 is the right way, which in this case would be south. North is 1.
We started.
Opposite, heading back the way you came.
Yes.
I'm wasting
Didn't
a
we-
spell on this.
We had started to see the rocks, right?
Just
Barely.
very.
Okay. So we at least have that like for a heading.
And well, not right now. That storm is still in the horizon and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So a lot of the terrain is different looking and obscured
Okay.
because there's still a lot of sand in the air.
Oh
in general.
boy.
Mhm.
So maybe he is going the right way. Who knows?
No, I want to cast one spell. Just one.
Just one.
I want to cast Mold Earth just to stop him from moving. But I'm not going to like hold him. I want to make an obstacle for him to hit. To
So
stop
you
his
wanna-
movement.
Okay. So. Okay.
I'll waste a spell on. It's a cantrip. I can do this.
That's not wasting a spell. It's called a cantrip. You can do it anytime. So roll me. Let's just start off with a dexterity save, just for the fact of, and you too, both of you, because there's a simple thing with this is the fact of there's a distance that this potentially could be helpful. 30 feet. If
15.
you roll the 15, Viet.
Oh, you want me to roll?
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, can
this
keep me
is the
honest.
distance you're going to cover as you run.
I rolled a 3.
3. So that cantrip, it's within 30 feet. What are you doing? You can basically move 5 feet so you can make a ditch that he's standing on, drop down, and then raise it up. You could just turn the ground to difficult terrain to slow him down. You have lots of little options.
Okay, this is a mean thing to do, and I'm sorry, Chris, but it's really funny in my head. I just want to raise a wall of sand to just stop you in your tracks. Just
All right. So I like where this is at. You are tormenting someone who is having issues of thinking he's in prison with hallucinations. Yeah, I love it.
It's Maven. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
No. So Viet, you are running, and
Viet is-
suddenly,
Good.
am I correct in thinking you're going to Kool-Aid man this thing?
He's going to American Gladiator this sucker.
Fair. Dun, 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 dun,
Athletics check.
dun, dun. Yeah.
That would be a natural
DC.
20 plus a
Oh,
7.
never-
So for a 27.
So as Maven, you kind of have your wicked little moment, and just the earth rises up to meet Viet. It just a cloud of sand as he just boom.
Oh. Okay. All right.
And by the way, Nope, he's still running.
Mhm.
Yes. Don't leave us behind.
I can catch him. Just hang on. And Murder will kind of at a
Just
steadily
He's
increasing
much
pace.
taller.
Yeah, and he's a monk, so
And I'm a
he
dwarf.
can run for days.
He's got a
be
good.
gentle.
He's got a good 5 feet per movement round on me. 10 feet.
Yeah,
at least.
I mean,
just
he
My
can
stubby
move
little
50
legs.
feet per round, average. Just normal
Dang.
movement. So he
Okay.
comes just running up beside you, and he's just like, "Yeah, how we doing?"
run.
Yep. Yeah. No, I think we're okay. Everyone's back there. No one's attacking us. There's no one around. Yeah.
Quick perception check.
Roll.
It's a 3 + 8 is 11.
I mean, you can't see anyone.
Yeah, he's gonna keep running.
Okay.
This has happened to him before.
Yeah. And like
He's gonna give Murder a push and get him out of the way. Go away before I don't want to be killing you.
I'd rather take my chances with you. The rest of them are crazy. We'll stick together. A team.
Run.
All right. And he just kind of shouts back, "I'll bring him back."
Okay, just remember that I make the food and the water.
He just big hand thumbs up as he's just jogging. He's just like, and he's letting you he's trying to let you tucker yourselves out a little bit. Just like, we've been cooped up. This is just good.
Little
for
legs,
just
just a pumping. Beard flying in the wind. Well,
Glorious.
beard flying. Yes.
Yeah.
Full of sand. Dusty.
Yeah.
I don't know if Meredith's gonna get him to come back.
I think Murder and I should have a constitution check off.
He'll tire out eventually. Maybe.
So Callan's just gonna misty step as far as he can and then run after them too.
Does
I look
everybody
over
just
at
want to
June.
leave us behind? Like
I know.
everybody
I look
just
over
going
at you
to
and I'm like,
leave.
whatever.
Well, I mean, you left us behind too, so
I mean, okay.
everybody is just going to do that.
Oh.
Hey, hold on. No. Callan has Misty stepped and then is following. I feel there's a moment here.
I can't. Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, June.
You turned
You're not.
into mist when we were falling from the sky, and you just left us.
That is the nature of mist. But things don't feel right now. Maybe I liked being back there. I liked being back with Daruk, and everything was normal and quiet. And I thought it would be good to get out, but it feels wrong and bad. And I can't turn my brain off. It's not you guys. I promise. It's just
When I
I've been traveling
woke
for
up,
a while. Go ahead. What'd you say?
when I woke up, everyone was gone. My family, my friends, my entire town was gone. And I've been traveling for a long time, trying to figure out what the hell happened and why I'm still here. And I found you guys, and I thought you were the best hope for that. And so far, I think I'm right. And I'm not going to leave you guys. I'm not just going to disappear or run away, but I need to know that you won't either.
Well, I haven't yet.
You've barely been here.
I know. And I'm sorry. Something about leaving that peaceful, perfect place just got, I don't know. It's
You left half your heart behind.
miss my family. And I never even really had it all together in the first place.
I
I
miss
had
my
a little
family
bit.
too.
I'm used to just kind of leaving when I want to, when I can. Just sneak off. It's easy. I can't leave
Can
you
I-
guys. So,
Can I have both of you roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
19.
Wisdom saving, bro.
Yep.
26.
Ooh.
I got some. I rolled a
Modifier.
natural 19. I like this dice. It's kind to me.
Yeah, keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm back. I'm here. And I thought the best thing for me to do while I was feeling this way was to just stay out of your hair and do what I'm good at, keeping watch and if the mood struck me, I could just go. You might not even notice until it was too late.
We definitely notice. And I'm
And I
glad you
couldn't
didn't.
leave. I couldn't do it. So as much as I want to go back, there's nothing there for us right now. But there can be if we do what we have to do. Whatever that ends up being.
So let's do it.
Truce. And I put my hand out.
Cheers.
And then I hug you.
She'll have you too.
All right, let's go
Lovely.
get them. I wild shape into a horse.
But okay. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The horse? Why not?
I'm
The
not.
hug was okay, but
Okay.
this just crossed the line a little bit somehow.
All right, I forgive you.
And because you're
short, though,
short,
so could you, yeah.
scoop my head down and let you jump up over my shoulders.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I will
I'm
do
here.
that.
I got you.
And
we
they're
go
off.
after it.
Callan,
Yes.
Yet, and Murder. We need an athletics roll first because we're booking it.
Mm-hmm.
I want my
Not
other
as
dice.
fast as a horse.
Yeah, I'm faster than all of you.
No,
Oh,
you're not.
Man,
Murder can do 150 per round.
That's true.
You wanted
That
a
is
what?
Monks,
actually
baby.
true.
you want an athletics check?
Yes.
I'm a magic horse.
9.
9. Callan.
Oh, yeah, being cooped up in that tent is a little stiff. So,
He's gonna get a cramp.
but 16.
16. That's not bad. So you're managing to gain on Viet, and as these three figures come over a sand dune, you just hear that dun 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 dun. Just
Do.
yeah, Murdet is running backwards, just kind of watching and keeping pace with Viet because he's got no issue on both that or his athletics. I rolled an 18
A
for him.
light
So like
jog for Murday.
yeah, he's just kind of pacing. He's like, really, everything's fine. We should really go back. It's not a trick. I see Callan. Callan's coming. They're like, we'll all be fine. We'll all be together. No one has to kill each other. Everyone now roll me, or Callan, Viet, and Murder, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
We get eaten.
Alan's just like,
Yeah.
on your left, but he never catches up to the pass. So.
Murder got a 19. On your left.
12.
Clutching his side.
14.
Anyone getting a stitch? I should have stretched. Viet was right. Should have stretched.
14 for Callan.
14. Okay. And 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, enough. So yeah, you're the only one who's just start, like, you're not tired, but you're definitely starting to feel it. Some of that adrenaline of panic, and maybe this half-orc monk who's just kind of half striding, half backwards, just
Really short legs. Dwarves aren't built for this. And my pants, something's wrong with the pants.
they are snug, sir.
It's totally hampering him. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your stride is not
He's
what it normally.
tumbled down the next dune. Gets
Yeah,
up.
and,
He's still trying to shake the sand off. He's still trying to.
how about we just take a break? Let's just take a break. I could use it. For my sake, Viet, we got to stick together. Otherwise, who knows what happens?
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sand everywhere. Where did the
Callan-
sand come from?
Everywhere. So you're correct. Callan, you'll just kind of catch up right then down the dune.
Little dizzy, so I don't know what to do to get Viet to slow down, and then he actually slows down, and then I get up there and I'm a little confused myself, so I start doing close-up magic to. Ooh, you like that?
Are your pants really tight too?
And cards.
Why are these so tight?
Oh no, no, I'm not wearing pants so much as little shorts. So
Very cute.
they're pretty handy for these jogs. I just need to be in better shape though.
Cardio is very important, guys. I mean, really, to any adventuring calisthenic routine, you should really focus on. So I need Callan, I need you, Viet, to also roll me a wisdom saving throw real quick.
That's a natural 20. Plus 2 is a 22.
Perfect. Lovely.
18.
Perfect. Lovely. So, yeah, like as you're kind of all having that moment and just dealing with it, catching your breath, digging sand
Horse
out,
comes thundering over the dune. We have to
over
scatter.
on top of the dune. All of a sudden, yeah, like what color is this horse?
Oh, they are a white dappled mare.
Okay.
They're very cute.
Yeah, very cute white dappled
Very,
mare
very cute.
with a
Very
rider.
non-threatening.
Very non-threatening. Okay.
Cartoon eyes.
Comes over the dune. You get the profile, little rear.
Block out
Shove
the sun.
Callan out of the way.
They're here. No. And trots down, and you see Juniper riding on, likely because you haven't seen anything else around here, a Maven.
We good?
Yeah, we're just taking a break. I needed one. And it smiles.
Does Maven Horse
swear
have
to
a?
God.
Does Maven Horse have a cutie mark?
Yeah,
Oh my
and it's
God.
in the shape of
A mushroom.
a cute little
mushroom.
Oh, for sure, it's a mushroom.
Yes.
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 It's for sure.
Yes.
Cute little red cat mushroom. Oh, that's precious.
Totally.
I love that. Horse Maven comes up to Viet and goes and just kind of tries to be a calming horse animal with big prey-like eyes. And just because
Push her
okay,
away a little bit.
no, and then they come back and
Horse heads are really heavy. Like they can just
yeah, Maven's
get
like,
over.
love me. We're friends now. Touch my
Viet,
nose.
Viet does not know anything about horses, so
That I know.
keep up-
Horse
pat
Maven
it-
is trying to look you in the eyes like, hello,
pat it
I'm your
awkwardly.
friend. Telepathy. It works on
So,
kids. I don't know.
Viet has
Yeah,
Viet has forgotten that he is running. So just so you know.
Good.
Good.
Perfect. Oh, perfect.
Weird you out. Yeah. Just keep
Yeah, basically.
snorting on you.
Pants are tight. There's sand everywhere. Murder needed to stop for something. now there's a horse kind of pushing into space, which he doesn't particularly like. He's kind of pushing it back, but he knows it's Maven, kind of, sort of. So he's not like hitting it. He's not punching it, but he keeps kind of
Bunch of horrors.
holding it away from him.
June will dismount.
Sounds so official.
I will crouch down. Again, I understand your height. I will crouch down so you can get off me without
It's
hurting
easier to get
yourself.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, and she is going bareback.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's kind of impressive on a
With her
sand
giant
dune. Like you
sack
didn't
of half
fall
plate
off.
armor.
That's kind of awesome.
I should have made a roll for that. You're right.
Would you like me
missed
to?
opportunity?
Did you want me to roll for it?
No,
I
no,
kinda
it's
want
too,
you to
it's
roll
too
for
late.
it.
It's too late. We'll just pretend it was as majestic as described.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, June's hair is flowing in the wind.
It's
I
all
love it.
tangled. It's a tangled mess now.
So, about this time, you all have gotten yourselves situated. It's great. We're not panicky running anymore. The sandstorm is over. It is, unfortunately, I mean, it's going to be a hot day. This is probably
Yeah.
feels like it's around, looking at the sun and all that, approaching midday. So you're right near the tippy top of how bad it's going to be for heat.
Great.
But due to the storm that went through, it's not the worst you've ever felt.
All right. Cool.
We should
I
we
mean,
should set up shelter for until dark again.
And then it'll
Yeah.
be freezing
Hot.
cold.
yeah, but we
Right?
get
Then we
walking through the
retain-
desert and
But you sweat too much, and we need to.
I mean,
need to
yeah, I
not
guess we're swapping one desert for another. Are we going by Earth rules where deserts become frozen tundras at night?
I mean, it's kind of inspired by Earth rules.
Yeah, right. Well, because sand doesn't trap heat, right? It gets super
right.
it's like the worst of both worlds, super hot and hot.
It reflects whatever you give it.
we keep moving to keep the blood moving.
Right.
Maybe we go
Maven
till
Lady
dusk?
Corpse Flower dead of the woods.
I'm still a horse. Shit, never mind. I mean, shoot.
You
never
came
mind.
out of a horse.
Yeah, I did. Well, I'm thinking
Wait.
let's rest until dusk, like early sunset. That won't be super hot and we can get as far as we can and then camp out. Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
How far do
So
we
we
run
are-
in the opposite direction?
Not
Didn't
far.
get that far.
Oh.
I mean, 100,
Unfortunately.
150 yards,
Wow, that's not bad.
Stubby
we didn't
little
make this
ass.
a prolonged thing. It was just a fact of I just kind of took
he's
the
running.
stats of a dwarf and all
Yeah.
of the fun comments of them. It's like they're not big marathon runners. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they could run a marathon, but they're not going to sprint.
Mm-mm.
Like they could.
here's the
It's
thing.
going to be a slow, steady pace. You're going to complete the marathon, but you're not going to win it.
right.
Not even close.
But I don't feel like they'd be running it either. I feel like
No.
at a certain point they just deal with the fact they're walking or
Yeah.
murder someone or or wound something to be like, you're carrying me,
Yeah.
So anyway, so you're camping until around that dusk time so that you can
Yeah. Just when the heat starts to fall.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Is there any signs of the types of creatures that helped us? Or
Interesting question that you should
can I
ask.
prestidigitate macro binoculars and look for banthas and jawas?
Absolutely. You know what binoculars are.
Please tell me
You
they're
can
opera
prestidigitate.
glasses.
Oh
Please.
yes.
Alan, please.
That would probably be, hanging out with Murtimo. That would probably
Mhm.
be his go-to for
Mhm.
extended vision tools.
Those are his recon tools.
Yeah.
On a job, just
Recon opera glasses.
Yeah.
they have night vision.
With night vision. Yeah.
All right. Here's how we're gonna do this. Because this is a cantrip. Roll me an Arcana check, just real quick.
Mhm.
And I know you're just gonna knock it out of the park, so it probably won't matter that I asked.
Ooh, that's an 8.
Oof.
Holy crap. An arbitrary thing that I was like, maybe. And you just normally nat 20, you know. Okay, so you create them. I was gonna say, because this is a cantrip, screw it. I'd still like it. I don't care. I'm ruining the game for myself forever. You
There's
create
a big scratch on one of the lenses, but you can still use it.
there's a scratch on one lens, but you still get advantage using for perception using binoculars. It's like a spyglass. That was the thing where it's like, you know, that's a really valuable item, and it feels weird that you could just create it, but at the same time, it says you can create small items for an hour. So why not? So it looks like a really old, you know, hand-me-down pair, you know.
Yeah. All right, so that was 14 with the advantage.
14. Looking around, and you kind of go back on top of that dune, and you're looking around and all that. Unfortunately, and even if they were around, no one's moving out here right now, and you also get the vibe of that sandstorm covered up. I mean, there could have been a marching band that went right past you. There's no tracks in sight anywhere. It's like, other than you can follow yours back to where you guys were, it's just a blank canvas out here.
Wait, June, did you keep the armadillo, dude?
Yeah, should I ask Kevin?
Yeah, I like that name. That's a good
Kevin?
name.
Kevin.
Aw, hey, Kev.
Did he tell you that's his name?
No.
Just look at him, though.
Just look at it. He looks like a Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, Murder's just
Okay, I just wanted to check because once it gets cold, we're probably going to want Kevin to turn into a tent again. I don't know what you guys did to make him turn into a tent, but you should do it again.
We didn't.
That wasn't
Nice. Cool. All right. Well,
wasn't
this will
us.
turn out well for us. Maybe we tickle him and it comes out.
Oh, I mean, we've been fine so far. We've figured out how to do the fire thing, and we've
We had fire.
but have we? Yeah.
Happenstance.
yet.
Murder's all over this.
No, Murden is all over, just kind of
Viet's
bent.
shaking out his blanket, and he's putting his blanket over to keep the sun off of him, and trying to find some sort of shady spot for a dune. Yes.
Yeah, can you tell me about your friend Quincy?
Yes, he's my friend Quincy, but he's not dead.
Yeah, do you talk to him a lot?
Yes, but I don't know that he always hears me now.
Do you feel like he's with you a lot?
No. I did see him back at Cypress.
You saw him?
Tree. Under the tree, yes. He was all smoke.
Tree. Okay. Do you have other friends that you talk to, like you talk to him?
Yes, I talked to Manny and Fenris.
Okay. Do you talk to them often?
Yes, they're dead.
Oh man, I'm
So you talk to them in your head.
No, I talked to them. I just talk to them.
Do they talk back?
Yes, all the time. Manny has many wise sayings. Fenris, not so well. It depends on what kind of results you want.
Okay. Your friend Quincy.
Yes.
He does magic?
Yes, he's very good. He was our arcanist. He did our mazes and traps, and he was he was for my crew. He was in charge of the magics, and I helped him sometimes. That is how I got my hand.
Did he teach you things?
No, I mean he talked to me a lot, And so I know things sometimes, but it was pretty confusing.
Okay. I
He's
don't.
got a blanket over his head. You should be getting out of the sun.
Right.
It's really
Murdoch's
hot.
just
Redheads
doing the
and
same
sun.
thing, just smiling
Yeah.
and just like,
I don't want to make you uncomfortable or scare you. But you don't know how we got here in this desert, right?
Yes, I'm still confused about that.
Right.
I'm
So
not
what's
sure.
the last thing?
He's going to look over, he's going to pinch Callan.
Why do we always do that to you?
Did that hurt?
You satisfied, buddy? That hurt.
I'm not sure. Fenris, my friend Fenris said to pinch people if we weren't sure it was the real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Murdoch,
Yeah.
Murdoch's
I'm
just
not-
gonna reach over and pinch you, Callan.
I think you're supposed to pinch yourself.
This is way more fun.
No.
Yeah, okay.
How would that help?
Yes.
Right?
You can know you're real. So I pinched
Right,
the
right. You would feel the pain and you know that it's real. We'll unpack that later. So what's the last thing you remember before the desert?
We were in the town and there's the big thing and then there are the lights. And then I did the thing with the shadows and then we were hiding. And there was Peter.
That
How
was
is
very
Peter?
good.
Where is Peter? Looking around for Peter.
Peter's I told you Peter's dead.
When did you tell me Peter was dead? I'm sorry. That was too bad.
You don't have to apologize. It's easy to forget or choose to not remember something because it's scary.
Just staring at you.
So
You should really get out of the sun. It's really hot.
yeah. Redheads in the sun, not a good accompaniment.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Ah!
I'll just flip what I don't even know what I have.
You're
I still have
already
cloak.
burnt. Like, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
So what would you say or how would you feel if I told you that we met Quincy?
You met Quincy? When did you meet
Kind of.
Quincy? He's in Hailstone
Um,
right now, I think.
Right.
Hailstone?
Um,
Yep,
That
Scott.
was the name.
So-
Yep.
Hailstone.
Hailstone.
I don't know if we met the actual Quincy.
That is when he told me he wasn't dead, is that he's in Hailstone. He'd got in trouble again.
Yeah. Viet,
I told him not to go through Dragonstone, not to go through Dragonlock.
you know how your hand has power? How you can do things with your hand?
Yeah, and he'll hold it up and kind of snap some lightning through his fingers. Yes.
Yeah. So that's how we got here.
Oh, good.
You
Uncomprehending. Looks at
Ooh.
Callan. Looks at Maven.
yeah, I can help. And Callan's still reeling from pinching, so he's like, so he pinches Murdet and Viet back,
Ow!
and then oh yeah, I can help. So Callan can use major image to kind of go through the head camera roll of everything
that's a good idea.
from the fight in with the disgusting grotesque giants,
Oof, yeah.
and then fill in the blanks for Viet.
Yeah.
If you think that's a good idea, Juniper.
Yeah, no, I that's yeah.
Okay. So as you explain, I'll run through the scenes with the
I am
illusion
not
spell.
remembering this. The rope was a good idea, though.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And it's like,
Um,
I mean, the image is so crisp and everything, where it's like you can actually smell the how those things smelled, and it's like
Poke-
it's a full
poke through it.
episode.
Why was Maven turning into mist?
She panicked.
Yeah, it was
Got
easier than
scared.
falling to my death.
That happens.
And she got scared and ran away, like people do sometimes.
That happens. Yes.
Do you do you have times that you don't remember for a while? Like chunks
Probably
of-
yes.
um
Yes. I don't know. All the times merged together so much.
yeah. I don't know how to explain this to you yet, but you
Can we talk about something else? I'm not really comfortable talking about this.
we can.
We should rest in case save energy so we can walk tonight.
Talk about that heat, huh? Whew.
Woo.
Woo-hoo. It's good that someone opened a window. Am I right, guys? Whew.
Yeah, Callan will change the channel to old images from Dragonlock of Murtimo's plays.
Mhm.
Viet
Something
will
to
just
watch
be
while you're on the treadmill.
entranced. Viet will be entranced.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's a good one.
The curtain opens.
This
I mean,
Javiant they are quite good, yes.
Yeah, and then
It's so dreamy.
this guy who comes out, he's actually the writer, producer, director. He's pretty wordy, but once you get past that, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I am not understanding what he is saying, but
This is his greatest play he's ever written, at least until he wrote the next one.
I'm gonna do a thing. Can I? Oh, it's not touch. Okay. I would like to cast a spell on Viet.
Uh-oh.
Cast a spell on you.
Yes.
What are
I
you
would like-
casting?
Yeah, I would like to cast Beacon of Hope.
Okay.
This spell bestows hope and vitality. It just is a concentration for up to 1 minute. So it's kind of her way of like bolstering him a little bit, like giving him a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
What?
I get it.
he's totally going to associate this with Mertimo and
The play.
Javiant.
Yeah. Just like, that was a good ending.
You just get like a really warm, fuzzy feeling in your.
Yeah,
gut.
right at the end, suddenly he just starts to declare, he's like, he was dead the whole time. I didn't even know it. If I could see it again, I would know that he was the whole time. No.
But
Sorry, Ben.
why was he
Gotcha.
going to work all the time if he was dead? That's
weird.
kind of depressing.
Just kind of
Depressing afterlife.
the backdrop of the Dragonlock grind. It just never ends, even past death.
Man, I really could have used
Quincy would
that
call that
instead of that
a
damn book.
metaphor. Quincy would
Yeah.
call that a metaphor. Yes.
So,
That is.
as we all hunker down to escape the heat of the day, are we all just kind of sleeping? Are we setting a watch of rotation of any kind? Just a quick, what are we thinking? Just sleep, and then as soon as it gets to the good point,
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that we're kind of lounging, watching. Like, I think we're doing all of the above, enjoying being away from each other for a second.
In the fresh air. Oh,
Yeah.
sand angels,
Talking to Kevin.
perfect.
And we got into the habit of not really doing a watch while we were under Kevin, so
That's true.
just carry it over, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Could I get, as we're kind of getting into now early evening, the heat is starting to break. Can I get everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw real quick?
Mhm.
What is going on? Oh,
I need the
on
stat that's on that. So just
fire tonight.
19.
25.
okay.
22.
Whoa.
13.
13. Oh, and yeah, 15. Okay, perfect. So, as you all kind of kind of gather your stuff back up
Yeah.
and start to head out. You can now kind of, and a lot of the dust in the horizon and stuff is settled down enough where as the light is still there, you can still make out that small in the distance little mound or mountain kind of coming up, that pillar.
Cool.
And you all start off. And it doesn't take long before probably maybe an hour just into the walk, still fresh. Juniper, you're carrying Kevin, correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you keeping Kevin? Are you just carrying? You have him in a makeshift.
Is he still in a ball? Yeah,
Yep, very much a ball.
I was thinking like
a baby Bjorn,
little baby
almost
Bjorn.
with a blanket. Yeah, fair. No, that's
They
how I
float
saw it.
like
too.
like a inflatable raft. You could dragging him.
Yeah.
Suddenly you just start to feel like just this movement kind of moving around, like from the baby Bjorn.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. I'll kind of let him out.
Okay.
I'm not trying to keep him against his will or anything.
Yeah, and he'll onto the ground, and you'll see the whole thing kind of shiver and shake a little bit, and then just start rolling off.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin. Thank you for the shelter.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah,
Kevin,
will have
are we-
kind of probably veered off, heading, following him, just absentmindedly. I don't know
Okay.
what direction he's going, but
no,
Yeah, is
you
he going
guys
to
are
where
heading
he's
like basically south by south. Basically south at this point, and it kind of veers off a little bit to the like south by southwest. Not much,
okay.
but just it's kind of like if you're going this way, it just starts to go this way, and
I don't know. Like, should we follow him?
Well, I'm not too sure we want to meet whoever he's headed towards.
I mean, they helped us.
They did. But we know where we're going.
what at this moment would you say for your character the most prominent emotion you have, like feeling wise?
Viet probably has a little bit of wonder. He's still playing over the play in his head.
Okay.
Trying to
Callan
fit
had
together
a
the pieces he
nightmare.
didn't fit.
You had a nightmare?
Callan had a nightmare he's dwelling on. It was Slate pushing him away, Queen Sorva pulling him back, and Callan insistently trying to move forward into the gaping maw of a big black dragon. And he's kind of dwelling on that. So just kind of automatically defaults
Foreboding.
to let's keep going to Beacon where we were headed.
Yep. Maven?
Yeah. I'm doing shadow puppets for myself.
No, emotion. What is
Oh,
the
emotion? That's my
that
emotion.
Maven would be feeling the strongest right now.
Shadow puppets are
Uh,
not an emotion.
They are an emotion.
I mean,
How dare you, first of all.
it's a
Second of all.
language.
No, I'm feeling anxious as hell. That conversation with Juniper is playing up in my mind right now. And Maven's feeling anxious and really guilty.
Okay.
Yeah. She's kind of sitting with it. Mental shadow puppets.
Yeah, no, perfect. All right. So all of you, as this is going on, and you tell me, take those emotions that all of us feel, and you all have those things that are going on in that backtrack of your brain as you're doing other things. Just dial up that volume just a little bit on how loud those feelings are right now. Not aggressive, but they're just a little louder than normal. And what would that change anything? And like Viet, you said you're gonna kind of, whether it be consciously or unconsciously, kind of veer off following Kevin.
He's veered off following, and he's trying to mouth along to some of the lines from the play. Like, he can't even. He doesn't have them all. But it's like dum to dum. Mm-hmm.
June is absolutely veering off toward Kevin as well. She was
Hello,
she
my
was
name
feeling
is
very
Amigo
conflicted
Montoya.
and like a sense. Well, she was feeling conflicted in a sense of loss,
Mhm.
and like she was feeling like, I know we have our like we set the destination to Beacon, but like she was feeling that sometimes the destination isn't what you set out to do in the first place. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just following Kevin. Just kind of veers off.
Callan, Maven.
I'm following, man. I'm not trying to get left behind.
I think Callan would be so tunnel vision thinking about that nightmare that he kind of doesn't notice they're veering off so much and just
Fair.
barrels forward.
Perfect. All right. So as everyone is moving forward, the party all starts to veer towards Kevin. And Kevin's rolling up a dune and then starts to really pick up speed down the other side. And then, just going in that direction. And as you keep going that direction, you're going to continue to have that kind of that volume set from 2 to 5 kind of feeling. Except you, Callan, you're going to start to like that 5 is going to start to get cranked up to about like 8 or 9 as you keep following Kevin.
The pace would be picked up if that volume keeps getting turned up. Like,
not for you.
Urgency.
Not for you.
No, you said from a 2 to a 5.
That was the original. Like,
oh, so it
that's
doesn't.
in
You're
the
not
background.
increasing. Yeah. Okay.
Callan's the one that goes from 5 up more.
Got it.
So you're all following Kevin. Callan.
Fidgeting. Oof.
Yeah, I don't. Without outside influence, Callan would keep barreling towards Beacon.
Almost just more tunnel vision. Almost just cap. Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my dad's crossbow?
Heck yes, I do.
Yeah. You have a dad?
He's talking to himself as he's.
Oh, was he not talking
Doing
to
the
us?
play.
Oh, is he doing the
Come
play?
on.
Oh my god.
You want to see? Oh.
Oh, man.
So, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Inspiration. So, as you get across over this next dune, you're gonna all of a sudden see as you're coming over that at the bottom of this dune where Kevin just went out of eye line, you get to the top, and with one of its hands, you see one of these kind of insectoid, humanish. It's hard to describe, but with blue flashing dimly bright and speeding up just a little bit, and its eyes just a dull blue luminescence inside, with 4 like arms pick up Kevin, and you see just 2 of the hands are just kind of rolling him around and like almost look like kind of scratching, and the other one is holding a very large kind of, almost looks like it's made of like either obsidian or like resin kind of spear, and looks up at all of you as you hit the top up there.
Oh my.
Thank you.
Viet would stop.
They're gonna eat us. Kevin led us right to dinner.
Who would be keeping you alive and feeding you and keeping you healthy and safe just to eat? Never mind. He's feeling in his pouch for his jerky. Where's my jerky?
It might just be the anxiety that Maven was already feeling, but she's like flexing her hands by her side,
Mm-hmm.
ready for a fight if there needs to be one.
Perfect.
Hoping that there doesn't,
Yeah.
but
Viet will take a cue from Juniper, and he'll wave.
Yeah, thanks.
Still in that sense of
What's
wonder.
Callan doing?
I don't know what's Murdet doing because Callan is kind of branched off from everyone.
Yeah. I mean, it's like basically, if anything, if you don't react, if anything, you get a smack in the side, like in the shoulder or something. It's like, hey, like pointing, like, and seeing whatever. Murder's like, I mean, it's not a smiley face, but
Huh? What? Oh, I was off in space. Sorry.
And that emotion's still there, probably a little grumpy with,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see like it doesn't really react other than well, everyone roll me a perception. Let's throw that out there for that, because you're all looking at each other.
Oh gosh, I am seriously on a roll tonight. Wow, that was
13.
a natural 24.
that's an 8.
Ooh,
Oh,
and that's
man. Perception check?
Yeah.
10.
Callan.
13.
13. That's low too. He's more focused on, you seem out of sorts a little bit there, Callan. Juniper,
Mm-hmm.
with that great roll, I'm gonna give you the deets. Basically, you'll see it standing there, and it looks like you see the start of a move here and there, like it might do something and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then off your corner of your eye, you see Maven just hands tensing and then trying to like relax and then tensing. And you very visibly see like the antennae go up a little bit more and get to a little bit more steady and darker blue. And just that hand seems to twist a little bit holding the spear.
And I'm trying to relax. I really am, because I'm like,
oh no, I get it.
I don't like it.
And you'll see all of a sudden it like puts Kevin behind its back, and the other hands kind of come back down.
Maven waves. She waves.
Yeah, she's just like, Maven, you gotta calm down.
Should we be going south again now?
She's just waving.
Murder's like, I mean, maybe he just wanted his pet back.
Maybe.
Mm. Yeah, that
Maven
was
does not like these things.
that was nice of him. Should we give him something?
Yeah, we should give him
Maybe.
something. An offering. A trade?
Sure. And then we gotta keep moving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a letter opener that's pretty.
Nothing
Not
sharp.
like-
A lot of
Up
mail
at
out
that.
here. You'd be surprised.
It's pretty though. It's like
No, I get
intricately
you, I get you.
carved.
Mm.
You gave it to me.
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
think I
give
have
him the
anything
book.
else. Can you read?
What?
Give him the
What?
book.
Which book is this?
Book.
The Dangly Jangles?
No, I don't think that's a good idea. We don't want to give them ideas.
First
we don't-
edition.
We don't want to give them insight into humanoid anatomy.
I'm not sure where this book came from, but yes, we
Give
can
them
Yeah.
ideas.
Viet will take the
How
How
book
much
out.
did you read?
Viet will take the book out and he'll set it down in the pile. Or set it down in front of him, and then he'll step back and he'll wave.
Oh my God. Is there a chance that over those 5 days that book got repassed around? I mean, just 5 days of sitting in
Oh
that.
yeah, we all read it. Even Maven read it.
Juniper would not have read it again.
Maven
Nope.
read it twice for you.
Never
Juniper.
again.
Oh, that book. I was thinking about the book that Viet got from the doctor.
Oh no,
No.
no.
That's
Oh,
why
no.
June asked, how much of
Yeah.
that book did you read?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're talking
definitely.
about humans.
Definitely give him that book.
They
Yeah,
like
that
it. I
one's
think.
okay.
If they can read, they'll be in for a treat.
Right.
Yeah, Viet will put that one down. And he'll
Well, and
step
then
back
Callan
and wave.
can telekinesis the whole pile closer and then just leave it as an offering. And
Okay.
I think Callan will throw rations in there, like meat, whatever he's got, jerky, whatever he's got left over.
Sure.
June has like nothing. You guys just
I have a
nothing.
bedroll. Do they want that? Probably
You
not.
have a basic adventurer's kit and all that still.
Yeah.
I have a piece of rope. They can have 50 feet of rope. There you go.
Ink. I have
Hempen
some
or
ink.
silk?
Hempen, baby, rough hewn.
I got some ink for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, Viet would have dug out a gem and put a gem on top of it too.
Oh,
You have gems? You're a dwarf. Never mind. Of course, you have gems.
I will mark that off. I no longer have that one.
All
It's a
right.
nice piece
Yeah.
of jasper.
yes. I do
You-
have among my inventory, my adventuring gear, a little bag of sand. I will put that in the offering.
It's definitely not sand from here.
No,
Right.
it's different sand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does
It's
it
exotic sand.
Ooh.
do we get the feeling that they are like fearful?
Roll an insight.
It's not gonna be a natural 20. This is where I'm gonna fail. Okay.
Well, we got to bring that dice down eventually.
It's a 22, man. Dang.
Oh my god!
I am gonna fail
Ooh.
so hard when it really matters.
Oh, I know. It's like roll initiative, or it's like I rolled one. I rolled another one.
It's gonna be when I need it the
You-
most.
Right now, you get the idea, the feeling of you've spent some time going through the occult books that you found and researching, categorizing, what could be real, what might not be. You feel like you're under a magnifying glass. You feel like you
I
are
hate these.
being categorized, watched, trying to be understood.
Uh-huh.
I please let me roll an insight check. I want to, if Viet,
Oh god.
I mean, you're all there. If roll.
oh, that's not good. That would be a total of 18. Does Viet
18?
feel that as well?
You'll get that much for sure.
Like
But with
his hand will stop waving and we need to go. We need to go. We need to go. They're studying. It is he's gonna just turn, he's gonna grab it, somebody whoever's closest grab their shirt and start pulling them with him. You start like, agitated.
yeah,
Yep.
mildly triggered.
Yep.
Yeah. So you said that it feels like being under a microscope, but does it feel invasive?
Hostile?
Yeah, does it feel hostile?
Not currently. Like with
But
your
it
higher
could.
roll, you don't feel that it is angry or fearful.
Hmm.
What you feel like is that like a house cat. It can't hurt you. But it is just like ready to do something if needed, but it
It
is
will eat you.
it
once you-
doesn't know, like it's very right on that edge of like I'm not getting any emotion coming off of it of like what it's thinking or feeling.
Yeah.
It's not putting any outward like go away, but it's definitely, it looks like it's poised to, once it figures out what to do, it could act.
Okay.
But right now it's as neutral as you can while aggressively studying you,
Okay.
like just taking you in.
I think they're just as curious about us as we are.
Juniper,
them.
we need
That's
to be going.
famous
Yes?
last
We
words,
need to be
June.
going.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I'm a bit aloof to it, but I kind of recognize, they're not coming at us. So just let's give them stuff, say goodbye, and get on our way. And that's a nice thing to do. And let's go, right?
Yeah.
Maven's already walking.
So Callan will telekinesis the
Book as close as
the
you can
loot.
with all the stuff.
Yeah, and then kind of he's a performer. He knows gestures to make himself look non-threatening, like his open hands facing forward in a giving you stuff gesture, and then take off and maybe play a little tune as we turn our backs and leave.
So as you do all that, and I'll still say for that insight you rolled before, Juniper, I think you'll be the one to pick up maybe a few like back and forth moments. Roll me one more insight.
This is where it's gonna fail.
Like I said, I got to break that D20.
It's not terrible. 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. It's the dirty 20. That's me counting on my fingers, you guys.
I do it too. I'm an adult.
I am.
So you see like distinctly at least two kind of physical tells.
Mhm.
When Callan kind of made motions of trying to look kind of like I'm not a threat, like ha ha ha, like that, you saw almost like a predatory kind of like
No weakness.
and then all of a sudden he did the music and all that, and then it kind of like didn't know what to make, and just his head kind of cocked, and then as you all start moving off and you're kind of looking back, all of a sudden it starts to pick up the pace and match your speed, walking parallel.
Oh, freaking A.
Okay, well, we are being.
And so
Oh,
it's just, and
oh,
it's
it's
like its
almost like
eyes
I was
are
right.
at you, and it's just casually just maintaining your pace.
Okay.
Parallel,
Does
keeping about 60, 65 feet roughly
Okay.
between you.
So she'll just say casual, but not too non-threatening. That triggered some sort of predatory instinct. We are being matched. Whether or not they're just taking us out of their territory, just keep an eye out.
Viet will be, as he's moving, pulling his shield around onto his arm, strapping that on, get the hammer out and just kind of shake it and get a little blue fire down his arm and through the hammer so that it can ideally, right? So he's showing off a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
He's played this game before.
It's non-threatening intimidation. I love it.
Yeah, awesome. So as you do that over the course of the next like kind of 5-10 minutes, you do that, and it's just walking casually, maintaining that same distance, same pace. And yet one of the times you kind of look over just to maintain, you see one of the forearms comes behind its back and pulls out what looks to be like a carapace kind of buckler kind of shield. And then it just lightly starts to drag the like more of a glaive long spear in the sand outward, and you just see the sand turning black where the tip's touching.
Viet will,
and then goes back to casual walking again.
It's just like
Viet will
mine is bigger than yours right now is what's happening.
Viet will start shifting his, right, because this is his dynamic dwarven. He'll start shifting, like as he's moving, he'll just shift it into different forms, like kind of shake it into a glaive.
Okay, we're gonna talk about
Shake
that
it into
weapon because it is super cool.
Into a great sword, just kind of resting on his shoulder.
Do you know how to use that?
Shake it into like a chain whip. Kind of drag the chain whip along behind him a little bit. So with the blue fire just kind of trailing
Perfect.
along it.
No, perfect. Everyone make me a this will be, let's just go with wisdom.
Oh no!
Check.
Wisdom
There it is.
saving. Wisdom
It's
saving.
not a 1. It's not a 1. A wisdom save.
18.
18, you're good, Maven.
18.
14,
That-
actually.
How much?
14.
14. So Juniper, Viet, Callan,
21.
you're good too. I got to roll for murder real quick. Oh no, I rolled a natural 3. It doesn't matter what his wisdom is. You all may Juniper, Viet, and Murdit will all take 4 points of psychic damage. You all just start to get a splitting, like just that, that sound of microphone feedback, almost in your head for just a split second.
Yeah.
Maven and Callan, you can kind of hear it too, but it doesn't quite hit that frequency and level. As you see the antenna turn into just a bright, seeing that display via just a bright flash of like yellow light, and then it goes back into a blue. And Murdit was like, "Don't do that again, please."
No.
What?
I'm going to
Ow.
cast a cantrip.
Did those not affected? They heard it at all, or
Yeah,
We
you
heard
still
it.
heard it in your head. It just never got to that pitch where it hurt. It was uncomfortable, but it didn't do damage.
Viet will.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Maven.
Oh, it's okay. I'm going to cast a cantrip.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Primal Savagery.
Okay.
I'm channeling primal magic to cause my fingernails to sharpen,
Mhm.
ready to deliver a corrosive attack if needed. But I'm not making a big show out of it. I'm just quietly making my fingernails a little sharper and a little grosser.
Okay, so you're just kind of holding a cantrip in the ready. So, like, even though it only lasts for 1 round, we'll just
It's like,
say
yeah,
you're
it's
kind of
in-
just
it's
holding and
instant.
maintaining ready for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that works. Absolutely, it's a cantrip. So yeah, you kind of Lady Death strike your fingers a little bit.
Yes.
And, yeah,
How far away is it?
still about 65 feet away. It's not making any like that. It's coming towards you. It is
Viet's
just
gonna hold up his fist with it's shifted back down to a warhammer, and his hand's gonna go blue, and he's gonna fire off a chaos bolt at it.
all right. Roll
No,
me an
no,
attack.
no, no.
Ooh, that would be a 21.
That will hit, sir.
$11 points of damage, and that would be 11 points of psychic damage, actually.
Perfect. So yeah, this just kind of beam or pulse of energy, which as it kind of leaves, because things that turned out to be psychic, just is less physical looking and more just almost as if you could see kind of sound wave look, to it, slams into it, drops it to its knees for a moment, and you see it like the colors shifting, multiple colors.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then it gets to its feet, and immediately, and hold on here, I'm going to roll for its reaction on this. Kids. Okay. It's getting its reaction, and
It was nice knowing you, Viet. See you in hell, my friend.
and you'll all of a sudden see it just drag the spear across the sand, kind of misting, like just creating a little bit of dust and stuff. And as you all look back, it's gone.
Oh, thank God.
Roll
I
initiative.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if that's a
no.
good thing or not. Oh no. That's not too bad, actually. This dice is.
All right.
Oh no, I'm not wearing armor, you guys.
17.
11.
15.
13.
Oh, my glasses.
Can't see anything without my glasses.
Ah.
No, too
Juniper,
soon.
what did you get again?
13.
All right. So, top of the round. Callan.
Okay, so I noticed that it seemed like sound bothered my compatriots.
I was just describing psychic damage from the spell, looking like those invisible sound waves, kind of, but it was psychic.
From the bug people,
Chaos
or from
bolt. Chaos bolt from.
Oh, no.
Yet.
no the effect that that happened to our team.
Oh, that was all psychic. Like it was in your head. It wasn't an actual audible sound.
Gotcha. Okay. So I was still playing music, so I gotta stow the loot and grab the weapon, but
You can do that without worrying anything about it.
since it's on, I need to hex any target I see and then Eldritch Blast them.
Okie dokie. Is there range on the hex, or is it just C?
Let's see. No,
Because right now you can't see him anyway.
90 feet.
90 feet, perfect. He was within range a minute ago, or just a second ago, but you can't see him right now.
Okay, all right, then that wouldn't work. All right.
You can still, if you would like, try to shoot where you saw him with disadvantage on the ranged attack.
Okay. So yep, shoot an Eldritch Blast where I saw him last.
Yep.
And that's 2 bolts. First one's disadvantage, sorry.
Yep.
First one's a 20.
Okay.
Second one's a 23. Damn, do I hit it? Anything?
You just see 2 plumes of sand just go boom, boom.
Ah.
It won the initiative and moved. It went before you did.
Well, I did 9 damage to the sand.
You got it. That sand is done.
Right on.
Staying in the group, moving.
So is there any concealment available for us?
You're kind of at the top of a sand dune, and he was kind of near the bottom, just cresting up into the next one. Other than breaking line of sight, it's just sand dunes out here.
All right. Yeah, so I would drop down to conceal, break line of sight.
Yep. So from where you last saw him, you could come back 30 feet, up to 30 feet on your side of the dune, however you want to. So from where you last saw it, which was 65 feet away, how far back kind of going down the dune do you think you're going? Like 10 feet, 20, 5?
Just like the minimum to,
Yeah.
I'm confident I would block their view. So I would have concealment covered by the dune.
Yep. So 5 feet. You just back up and kind of just lean down, make sure you're in that Heidi position.
That's the ticket.
That's the one. All right. Viet, you are up.
Viet will reach into his pouch, pull out a dried grasshopper leg, shove it in his mouth, and chew on it, casting jump on himself.
Oh, God.
And he is going to step down on the other side of the dune where we saw it last. So Callan's stepping back behind the dune. Viet's going to walk ahead 20 feet down the dune towards where we saw it last.
So you run down there 20 feet down. So you now are about 45 feet from where you last saw it.
With the hammer ready, but he's got jump on him now.
Okay. Perfect.
Bonus action shifting it into that war hammer because that's what we most actually shift into a pick. He's going to shift it back into that pick form.
All right. Perfect.
I bet that'll dig into that carapace that it's got pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Juniper. Juniper, you're up.
She's not quite sure what's going on yet. So what she's gonna do is just prepare. Yeah. I'm just gonna hang on to a sacred flame. I'm just gonna hold my action to see if I can see it.
Okay.
And I'm just
Perfect.
holding that.
Do you have a trigger? I mean, Sacred Flame is still a cantrip, so you're not wasting a spell slot, but are you triggering to use it on aggressive action or just seeing it? Or...
it would be aggressive action. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And you're not moving?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Murdett's turn. Yeah, he's going to. Let's see. Is he aggressive or is he? Right now, he's not aggressive. He's just like he's taken just a couple feet just to keep moving down the kind of same parallel line you all were moving, just so he can fan out a little bit. But he's just very calm. His dukes aren't up. He's just kind of staring with where he last saw the thing. Maven.
Frickin' knew it. I knew it. I was right. Maven was right. Let this be a lesson to all of you. She doesn't say any of this out loud, but oh, she's thinking it. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, we attacked first.
To be fair, you're right.
How did we attack first? How did we attack first?
You shot.
Hello?
psychic energy.
Hello?
We took 4 points of damage. They were in our heads. They're watching us. And then they
Girl.
hurt us. How did we attack first?
They probably left psychic babies in our heads.
This.
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah. Little do you know, the lasting damage is that you'll never be able to get a song out of your head. That's what they really do.
Okay.
Would that be horrible if
I'm going to move as far away from the party as possible.
So you're going back the way you came, or are you going
No, I'm
further
moving
down the
ahead.
dune away from where the creature was?
Away,
or
yeah.
pacing Murder?
I can only move 35 feet. I'm going to move 35 feet ahead, and I'm going to cast Warding Wind.
Okay.
A strong wind blows around me in a 10-foot radius and moves with me, remaining centered on myself. The wind lasts for the spell's duration, which is 10 minutes. Oh, hello. I didn't summon familiar, little cat.
Wrong spell.
Sorry. Okay, it deafens myself and other creatures in the area. It hedges out vapor gas and fog. The area is difficult terrain for creatures other than myself, which is why I wanted to move away from everybody else. And the attack rolls of ranged weapon attacks have disadvantage if the attacks pass in or out of the wind. So I'm kind of trying to get in between the creature, the last place I saw it, and everybody else, but at least 10 feet away from the next person.
Okay. Perfect. So you kind of go to where roughly Viet is, maybe a little bit in front of him, and create that, because that he's went straight towards where the creature last was that you saw.
You can be between Viet and the rest of the party. Viet's willing to be out in front.
So you move out, the wind starts to swirl, and this little dust devil just starts to gather around Maven.
Mhm.
Sweet. I like it.
It's very cool.
All right. So for clarification,
Mhm.
Maven is in front of Viet and the party, or Viet is in front, Maven, and then the rest of the party?
I'm in
Just
front of
because I
Viet.
want to. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So that is the new score for this round.
How tall is that wall of wind, Maven?
It doesn't say, so I'm gonna say 10 by 10. 10 foot by 10 feet.
I got my jump on. I gotta go check my numbers.
All right. Viet,
Mm-hmm.
can I have you make a dexterity saving throw?
Mm-hmm. That would be a 24, Bob.
Very nice. So suddenly beside you, like it just, you see the sand move, but it's not the sand. You can see that their carapace is like a chameleon. And so suddenly just there's movement next to you and you just manage to duck. And as you feel something go over top of your head, I need one more dexterity saving throw.
That would be a dirty 20.
30-20. That's still enough. As you feel another just something follow up that first one. I mean, it was probably kind of ducking and rolling with it, coming right back up to your feet as two just go flying past where you just were. And you see the motion, and you now very easily can see this creature, even though its carapace is all looking like sand. As it takes off past you, you can have an opportunity attack if you'd like.
100%. Damn it. That would only be a 12.
You just in coming to your feet and swinging, you miss and just hit nothing but air. And just because it's right there, or not it, sorry, she is right there as it is running. Maven, you will get an opportunity attack if you'd like to.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With my poison claws.
That drops.
Frick. Can I
But
undrop
you can still, no, wait, that doesn't retort. Sorry, I was forgetting that it was not a concentration, it's a cantrip. So you can. You cast the cantrip to do the thing again. Sorry. You do that thing. Do that thing. So make
Can I
a
sharpen my
melee
claws?
spell attack.
Yeah, I want to do a scritchy, scratch. Okay. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna roll the hit. Oh, Fraggle Rock. I'm using inspiration. That's a 14.
14. All right. So as you do, you actually do find purchase, but you just feel your nails just like not able to dig in to the carapace, but you barely just feel it. As roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, good God.
Yep. It gets multiple attacks.
That's a
It has
15.
arms. Oh, that works really perfectly. So say hi to Kevin.
Hi, Callan.
Kevin,
all of a sudden,
Kevin?
just you
Oh, hi,
see
Kevin.
in this motion, the little fox eyes and everything, like the leather, the eyes peel up as the ears go up, and just, and you are wrapped around in your own private, tight little umbrella, and you are restrained. You cannot see, and you fall down in your own little body
Ben.
bag.
Because the
You can
wind,
hear it.
but is the wall of wind doing anything
Yeah,
with
the
it?
wind is still happening.
The wind is still happening.
Is it inside
There's
though?
no damage. It's just the dust devil's right outside this body.
I thought maybe
bag
the
on ground.
dove would be like poor Kevin has to like encapsulate
Adjust
her
for her, yeah.
and the dust.
This is so uncomfortable, you know.
Oh, I don't feel bad for Kevin.
And as the creature keeps moving off, and so that boom, 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 you can still see him, but he is about 30 feet away from where Maven was. So about 30 feet away, roughly, Viet, from where you are. And Kellen, you are up. You didn't see any of this, but you heard the wind, you heard the commotion.
The muffled,
Right.
oh, come
So
on,
we didn't-
Kevin.
We didn't see any of that.
Juniper, you did. You're still on top of the dune. He had broken line. of sight.
Right. So
Oh, a sacred flame. You were holding that for aggressive.
yes, was
you
it
didn't
aggressive
see-
or was it defensive?
Here's the thing. I'll let you roll me an insight because the only
Okay.
thing you actually saw was it running past very quickly, and you that kind of amorphous like color of the sand, so you couldn't make out the distinct things until it lost full chameleon, and then all of a sudden you just saw Kevin, a little
Right.
ball, just go.
Got it. That's where I failed. So I rolled a 4.
Hard to tell if it was
10,
aggressive or
11.
not.
11 is the total.
Really hard. I mean, in your mind, you guys did kind of start this.
Yeah.
It could still be like Maven doesn't seem like she's hurt. Kevin never hurt you,
Right.
I'm mad.
but she is 100% wrapped up.
Can I, instead of Sacred Flame, just yell, Kevin, drop it?
Are you trying to intimidate Kevin?
No. I'm trying
Persuade?
to persuade Kevin.
Animal
my
handling, for sure. Animal
Oh
handling.
my
Kevin, drop it. Roll
Like,
me
he listens
with
to me.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage, dang it.
You're not trained with Kevin. You've spent 5 days of its entire life.
I certainly did. I still rolled pretty dang good. Animal handling, you said 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Are you
Super.
kidding me?
That's great. Nothing happens.
She tried.
If anything, you hear that, like Maven, you hear
Kevin,
the sound
drop it.
of like unhappy, just like, and maybe the grip loosens enough so it doesn't hurt. It's now
Okay.
just holding you. It's just
Oh,
like,
it's just a hug now.
yeah, very aggressive hug.
The only way I know how.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, Callan,
Yeah. Okay. That gives me an idea.
aggressive hugs.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna just out and say it and yell it and like, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I know they probably can't understand me, and then I'm just gonna go up and aggressively hug Viet in the same manner as Kevin, as much as I can emulate that.
Technically, you wouldn't be able to make it there with your action still intact, but I love it so much that you can run up and absolutely try to, like, you can't restrain him because you don't have anything left, but you can get up there, yell that if you're trying to persuade or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's all disadvantage just because of the things that have happened already, but
Mhm.
you can come up and just kind of grab Viet in a very loose hug of like, you're not restrained Viet, but
Yeah.
you're being hugged.
I'm basically saying it to Viet too. It's a big misunderstanding. I
Hug
think.
is a free action.
So it's crying.
So what am I
Yeah.
rolling?
Persuasion if you want. Disadvantage.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
17.
Ooh.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Take me out of it. There. The dice decided. All right. So it took all of your dash and movement to get up there, loosely hug, and bonus action to try to persuade. This is all just a big misunderstanding.
Mhm. Does it help
right.
if I pinch Viet? See, it's.
I mean, it helps me. Viet, your turn. You are being hugged.
Gonna punch whoever's hugging me.
You.
I do have cloak,
I'm
so it would kind of
fair.
envelop him. So.
I mean, you would very confidently know it's Callan.
Oh, I do know it's Callan. Oh, I'll
I mean,
shake him off.
it's very Callan. Like, I mean, you can
All right.
hear him. He's hugging you and half talking to
All right.
you as well. Be like, this is a
All
misunderstanding.
right, well, I will not punch him then, but I will shake loose, and I'm going to leap 25 feet towards the creature.
Okay.
Yeah, Hulk leap, standing. I can get up to 25 feet, and I'm gonna as I'm coming down, lash out from my hand a lash of blue lightning at the creature.
Okay.
In the storm whip, also known as lightning, whatever that is, lightning whip, lightning lure. It is a. Oh no! He has a strength save.
Strength save.
Has to beat 11.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Yeah, it's able to shake it off.
So yeah, this arc of electricity comes out, kind of tries to wrap around, and you just see like his feet dig into the sand, and all of a sudden just breaks off around him as he just kind of makes a gesture with the spear. So you are right there in melee with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, he's 30 feet. Yeah, so I'm basically 5 feet away.
Yeah,
I can leap up to my movement, which right now is 25 feet, so I can leap that far.
Perfect.
So there's 5 feet between us.
Yep. So
if the lightning were hit, I go to drug him in by me, and then
it's over.
And yes,
Juniper.
Yes.
Things are still happening. All these aggression, and it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast sending on the creature.
Oh, you're
Yeah, so
send it.
So if I am understanding the spell correctly, it says the spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they can't understand the language, they can understand the meaning.
Yeah.
Is what I'm understanding.
Oh,
So-
exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to cast sending on this creature and basically say,
Not basically. No. It's very specific.
well,
You have
it doesn't,
25.
I know there's 25 words, but since they're not getting the words, it's more of a meaning. Do you still want me to say
I
want
to hear your words
Okay.
because you are trying to convey a meaning through it.
Yeah.
So give me your words. and
Apologies.
we'll go from there.
Okay. Apologies. Misunderstanding. Peace. Thanks. Safety. It's literally just the 5 words.
So I thought you
just
got
dead air
25
for the rest
words.
of the message. Yeah.
We'll rein
and
in
it
our
can't
crazy
respond to you.
person if
We'll be on our way.
Right.
Action. Okay. So as you do this, you cast sending, you send that out, and suddenly you see before the head even moves, the antenna just immediately turn bright white
Mm-hmm.
and immediately turn towards you as its head turns over and back at you. Your roll me a wisdom save. That feels about right.
Damn. Okay, 16 plus I think it's 7. 23. Dang.
Perfect. I don't even have to give you damage. As you get a flood of images and emotions.
Okay.
It sums up in the images of basically like kind of that same feeling of watching. And then you get the sense of a rabid animal biting at someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the emotion of like duty, responsibility. And then immediately like that feeling of unsure switching to danger.
Got it.
And this is like I said, through a multiple images and emotions involved in them.
Okay. How am I gonna convey this?
I think I'm the
Right,
rabid
well-
animal.
That was your action. Are you moving or bonus actioning right now?
Moving.
Okay.
How far away from Via am I?
You are about probably 60 feet because he's moved
Okay.
with it.
Yeah. Who's closest to me at the moment?
Murdet, he's like 10,
Okay.
15 feet away from you.
Okay,
Otherwise, Callan,
okay.
who's like 10 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of announce, I guess, out to the people closest to me.
Sure.
Like it's lashing out because it's scared. It's trying to protect itself. I think we can still probably disengage and then move toward Viet. Like I want to try and go intercede. Like
On Maven. Hold on. Staying in character. I love it.
oh God. Is Maven close? Like
She's like an umbrella person right now, just
But
closed
she-
up.
The feet
sticking
are
out.
hanging out. Yeah.
it's toward where Viet is, right?
Not anymore because he leaped 25 feet. So she's down the dune from you.
Okay, well then I'll head down the dune toward
With a-
her and see if
Yeah, Dust
Maven,
Devil
I think it's
circling
okay.
her.
It's just trying to protect
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, that
My feet start wiggling.
he's not hurting her.
I will say, yeah. If anything, it's a little weird just because you are getting licked because the face is like smushed against your face. And it's just like,
Gonna get a little salt in its diet.
All right,
And that's
so
my
Juniper,
turn,
you kinda, okay, you come running down there. All right, Murder's turn. Okay, new information. He's seen some stuff. Will he remove a Kevin or a 10?
Two become one. We're best friends.
He's just
now.
Right in the
waiting.
middle.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't tilt me. So he's like, okay, he's just ready. He's ready to do something. You know, he doesn't know what, but he's ready. Maven,
Mhm.
how's it going? Yeah, is it right?
It's fine. I kind of just want to get out a little bit.
Okay. Do you want to like get out?
No, I think I might just kind of wiggle and be like, you know, our faces are right next to each other. So like,
That is true.
yeah.
And so,
I'm kind of
I mean, are you wanting to like do anything specific, or is this just a thought of like maybe we've bonded a little?
yeah, a little. No, I want to try to persuade him with my eyes.
Perfect. Shit, just make it a flat persuasion check. I mean, the DC's high.
I believe
But-
it. Well, it's an 18. That's not horrible.
That's awesome.
Yes.
With that high persuasion roll, I will tell you this. In this moment, as you are face to face and you give it the eyes, it gives you the most like, I'm sorry, man. Kind of look back and just like, like my hands are tied. We all got a crappy roll sometimes. I'm
I
a
look
10
back
some
like I
days.
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
We're just chilling. I go completely limp. I'm like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna stay here, I guess. They'll let me out eventually. Maybe. Or I
So
just live
that's-
here now.
That's one round inside of Kevin, correct?
Right, yeah. Do I take damage?
No.
Oh, cool.
No, you're fine.
Porcupine,
get licked.
porcupine.
Yeah, you're just getting licks,
That's so gross.
and just kind of regretful, like we can make the best of it, top of the round. So seeing as you're right there and it's a thing, it is going to continue backing up, and you are going to see this, like, kind of like I said, it looks like almost a resin, this spear, this glaive, and all of a sudden you're going to see some of it open up, and it's going to shoot I can't remember your AC there yet.
With my shield
it
up,
is
it's at
a
18.
17. So it slams into your shield, and you just, like, all of the kind of color around it starts to fade as this black inky bolt shoots out from it, slams in, and just you can just see where it hit, the color kind of fades just a little bit. And that is that attack. Yeah, I can just do that, I guess. So yeah, so it is going to whistle, and then it's a weird sounding whistle because and then it is going to leap 30 feet backwards more. Still visible, everyone can still see it. It is now on the opposite side from where Callan, you guys are at the top of your dune. It is on the opposite dune at the top, and still visible, all that. And Callan, your turn.
Well, so it moved away. I'm just gonna ready my finger guns if it like does anything violent to any of my compatriots from this point on.
So we side
Yep.
straddling our finger guns. Or,
Yeah, and the little crystal eldritch energy is just flying around
love it.
violently, ready to fire.
So aggressive gets aggressive trigger.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
It will reach down with the hand with the hammer in it, pick up some dirt, taste some of that, and smoke Jimmy. Cast Longstrider on himself, and then if you'll allow it, I'm gonna just kind of kind of rotate, like spin the hammer around to spin it through.
You want
it.
a Mjolnir this?
No. I want to like people flip blades around their hand. I want to flip the hammer around into a spear, back into the hammer. Just kind of
fancy.
Shield up. Actually, I'm going to flip it into a spear and have it ready, shield up, and. Are
you trying to like taunt it a little bit or intimidate it, or what are you trying?
Say it just to the I'm ready if you come back again.
Okay. That'll be Juniper.
What to me?
Your turn.
Oh, that's what I
that
was like,
will
wait,
be Juniper. What are you doing to me?
Okay. Can I make it to Maven?
Yeah. Other than you have to go through a dust devil.
Ugh. Okay.
It's only 10
Um,
minutes. It's only 10 rounds.
Yeah, you can shut it off early, but I mean,
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go. I mean, I'm gonna go through it.
I'm inside of Kevin. I can't. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I know
if
you don't
anyone's
know
trying
if
to get
you're
to
in
me.
danger or not. That's totally so yeah, beyond that, you're fine. Yeah, you go in.
Heal.
I don't take damage from it.
No. That's I was just seeing if you had to push through it, but it's literally just an
Oh,
inconvenient
got it. Oh,
like
okay.
kind of
Yeah, it's
help
difficult
hurting-
terrain.
Yeah, you have
Okay,
to take
so
a
it
couple
just-
extra steps, you know.
Yeah. So when we were inside Kevin, when we were in the tent, I feel like the first time I pet Kevin, it twitched.
Oh,
Really?
So I kind of want to recreate that and see if I can't get him to release Maven
Good luck.
Okay.
and just a gentle calming, like, hey, it's okay. Please just drop.
I think he likes
This-
me now. I
This
think I'm
sounds
his
like
wife.
an animal handling check.
Again?
I mean,
tickle
you're
attack.
trying to control
14.
an animal.
18.
Are you trained, by the way, in animal handling?
In animal handling?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
After
I'm not
this, she
proficient
kind of
in
needs
animal
Okay.
to.
handling.
Yeah. Due to the fact we're in combat, because normally I'm not a stickler on this, if you're not trained, it's disadvantage.
Okay.
Well, because we're in combat. And you are
Well, that's
trying to, in the
worse.
moment, just make a connection, you know?
10, 11. So 12.
12. Okay. There's not, I mean, it's hard to tell if it's Kevin or if it's Maven kind of just twitching and moving in there. Maven, you do once again kind of like get that, like, yeah, man, it's like, it's a thing. Here we are.
I go. Do with that what you will.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. That is about as perfect as I could say. What do you do with that information? Only because there's something like I just that sound, that everything, this is perfect.
Okay. Gosh. Not much, because she really believes that like disengaging is the best thing to do. Gosh, how far away is Viet at this point?
From Maven, about 25 feet off to the side. A little bit.
Okay. I don't think I have any more movement after going through the storm. But I would probably just yell out to Viet to disengage. Like, Viet, just disengage.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm not attacking anything.
You hear?
Is
Murder?
Maven reciting Swanky Dangles selections to Kevin?
Maybe.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, that grip just starts to vibrate a little bit.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Whoa. He likes it. Murder stays on top. He's ready. He's just defensive. He's watching. Maven. What's up, girl?
I hate this. So listen, Kevin. Okay, from the outside, you can't hear what I'm saying. You just hear.
Right. No, it's perfect.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Kevin, and I'm going. Listen, Kevin, man, my friends, look. We're gonna disengage. I think that what would be best for all of us,
Meh,
meaning me,
meh.
is if you let me go. I pinky swear, if you had pinkies, not to touch your master, and we'll get out of here, and I will never step foot in this desert again. Scouts honor. If the fantasy scouts honor.
There's absolutely fantasy.
Turns
scouts.
out Kevin is a Fey Lord, and this is a binding contract. And if you ever step foot in the desert
Oh
again,
my god, that would be amazing.
I would do it. Yeah, no, I love that.
You
But
feel an
I
arcane bond. You just took a level in Warlock.
oh my God. No, and I kind of like with my limited movement, I kind of just like put my hand against Kevin. I'm not pushing, right? I'm just putting my hand there, like truce. Like I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
I mean, it's more like this, but
Deadwood Scouts honor.
I'm
Yeah.
You feel June's hand through the thin membrane of Kevin's
but yeah, no, I'm like
body. I don't
Remember.
know.
like I'm cool, man. You don't gotta hold me back no more. I won't touch your homies. I swear. I'm already limp. I put my hands up. I say, Kevin, I'm good. Well, I don't. I go, Kevin, I'm cool, man. I promise I won't do anything.
I'm gonna make
Let
this
me
so
out,
much
man.
worse. So at the end of your second round inside of Kevin, with that, yeah, he might have gotten a command. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
No. Okay.
Yes.
I know I'll do it, but my constitution's very good. Blech. That's a 9.
So
Yeah.
this isn't gonna be great.
I'm gonna get digested by Kevin.
No. You're gonna take 13 points of dehydration damage as you like suddenly start to feel the moisture in your body being drained.
That's
And
so
right
worse.
before, as you're just calmly, and Juniper, you probably outside just hear like,
Kevin, you.
and then Maven, like in your ear, you just hear like, my mommy, and all of a sudden it just tightens a little bit, and
Oh.
Juniper from outside, just you hear that calm mumbling, might switch to just, "Ah!"
Yeah, no, Maven's screaming.
So 13 dehydration damage, if that's
Right.
anything, but that's
Yeah,
what's
that
happening.
didn't feel awesome.
Kevin said
Right.
sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
okay. Oh, it doesn't make it better.
Yeah, he did. And now, okay, so that happened. Top of
Next
the
round, I'm
initiative.
kicking his ass.
So all of a sudden, you see at the top of the other dune, it kind of dips below the opposite side, and is broken line of sight. Callan, your turn.
Okay.
I know we're going a little long. We're almost there. Sorry.
Right. Okay, so I gotta drop the finger guns. And I want to do. I think I can cast a spell through Kevin, or see.
Depending on what the spell is and what you're trying to do and what the spell says, we'll see. I mean, I like cool ideas.
Here's how it goes. Is there any parts of Maven hanging out? Oh, okay.
Oh, this
Are.
is so bad.
Just
Then I will-
literally just the feet. It's an umbrella, you know.
Then I will go gently touch her feet
I'm
Foot.
thrashing.
and
You can stick.
cast heroism on her.
Okay. So use your action. You cast heroism. That lasts for what, a minute?
What does
lasts-
that do to me?
You are immune to being frightened, and you gain temporary hit points equal to what is it? You gain 4 temporary hit points every turn.
Okay. Nice. So do I get immediately 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts
Heck
right now,
yeah.
but it's temporary hit points, so they're on their own little stat block,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Oh,
don't
shoot.
stack
Yeah,
either.
yeah. But I
Boy.
get 4 every round.
It's like a little mini shield that just keeps
Yep, every
regenerating each
round.
round.
Got it.
If I roll bad, that could be enough.
You've been rolling
Okay,
pretty good.
so you run down. She's thrusting. You kind of,
Yeah.
And suddenly, Maven, you're filled with some vitality, and you cannot be frightened.
I'm just pissed now.
Yeah, now you're
Imbued
just
with
angry.
bravery.
Where before there was a little panic, now it's just like, damn it, Kevin.
Yeah. What the heck, man? I was trying to be cool, and now you've got me in a vice, and you took my water. That's like a medieval euphemism for something. I don't like it.
I really wish I had the right drink right now, because like the only thing you hear back right now is like the sound. Sorry, I wish I had a straw.
This little bastard. I'm gonna kick his ass.
Viet, your turn.
Gotta have armadillo.
Viet
stew.
will, with long stride, that gives me 10 extra feet, and jump. I'm going to jump 35 feet to the top of that dune. Yep. Hero pose. Hero pose, bonus action, perception check to see if I see where it's at.
Absolutely.
That'd be a 23.
Yeah, you do. You just make out the outline further down the dune, still staying on the opposite side from where you guys could have seen, but about 30 more feet down from where you're at.
Yep.
You see it low to the ground. It doesn't seem to know that you've seen it, but it is kind of recamouflaged.
Charge it. Down the dune.
You're gonna kill
Oh.
me. You're gonna kill
I'll
me.
leap another 30 feet to it.
Okay. So now you're back on it.
I'm gonna get right up. Yeah, leap right, basically right in front of it, and land right in front of it.
Okay, perfect. So you're right in front of it. And bonus action.
I thought bonus action was my perception.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely
I mean,
is.
I'll take an extra bonus
you.
action if you want.
No, you're absolutely right.
I will
Or, yeah,
totally
you
rage on an
search it
extra
like that,
bonus
otherwise
action
it's
if you
your-
want, but
Nope, you're right. Thank you for being honest. Jennifer. So Viet just she's screaming inside of Kevin, and Viet just leap and then
Gosh.
outside on the other side of the dune now.
Dang. Okay. Oh God, she's really friggin'. She's really getting frustrated here. Okay. I don't. Okay.
Okay.
I feel bad. She's going to say sorry, Kevin, and cast Ray of Enfeeblement on him.
Sorry. Thank you.
Kevin has to make a Constitution saving throw.
I don't know. He's
Fair.
stronger than me, so Kevin's the real boss.
And the save is 15.
Kevin does not make it.
Does not make it.
No, he does not.
Okay, so that is Raven Feeblement. Oh wait, what?
No, you attack.
Yeah. Why does it say Con 15 then?
That is your spell DC and no Con 15.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Yes.
concentration. It's your concentration.
Oh, what's 15?
So if you take damage, you have to if you take more than 15
I'm reading
points.
something weird.
Yeah,
It's fine. 11, 12, 13.
Maybe it's something else. I'm not sure. No, it's
does
any
18 hit? Does 18
18
hit
does hit Kevin.
Okay.
Just barely, but it got Kevin.
Okay.
She's gonna
Hit the
heal
target
himself
deal-
with my liquids.
So he only okay, well okay, well it only deals half damage. It says with weapon attacks that use strength. Does his body a weapon?
I mean, he'd like to think so. we're just gonna say
I'm just trying to weaken Kevin so that we can get Maven out of there. So we
I
can...
get the spirit of what you're trying to do. We'll
Yes.
say it. We'll say for
I got it if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, Juniper.
Okay. Just say, Kevin, I'm really sorry. You have to drop her.
oh, that's where the Constitution saving throw is at the end of every one of its turns. It can try to end the spell.
That's what it is. Okay.
There you go. So
yeah.
for the sake of right now, we'll say with the ray of enfeeblement, Maven doesn't know this at the moment, but anything strength based, like for trying to break free type of thing, like strength, has
Mhm.
advantage because it
Okay.
is now weaker.
Okay.
Because it really doesn't making attacks, and
No.
you know that. So it's just weaker. So it still uses the strength side of it.
Okay. Thank you, because I'm really
Hey.
lost what to do here.
It's all right. D&D has lots and lots of rules, and sometimes we can just make them work. So, Murdit's turn, and now seeing all this, and then hippity hoppity hoop, he looks over at Callan and he's like, "I'm gonna back him up," and he just runs his full movement and uses his action to run up the other side, and he is at the top of the dune and looking. He's probably 15 feet behind the creature, and you're on the other side of the creature. Viet looks around and he just kind of closes the distance. He can't attack this round, but you now have flanking. And he's outside of line of sight for everybody who's not Viet. Maven, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
Well, I'm not enjoying being in here.
I
so-
would imagine not.
So I'd like to get out.
Fair.
I don't want to hurt Kevin because he's just going to heal himself with my liquids, is what Maven is thinking. That's what I would do if I was a parasitic monster wrapped around someone who fed off of their moisture. And Maven's often dehydrated. So just a fun little flavor text for all of you friends out there. Rarely hydrated. So she is a little scared, but she's got that heroism, so it's fine. So I'm gonna cast a spell. Ooh, wait. Could I?
These are
cast
the things
this?
you should be looking at during your downtime.
I know. Well, okay. I'm gonna. I don't know. I wanted to do gaseous form, but I don't think it's gonna work. So I'm gonna cast blindness on Kevin.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna choose him, and he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
He is the only thing you can see.
Mm-hmm.
He is now blind because that was a bad roll.
Yeah. He only had eyes for you until now, too.
Oh,
Story of my life.
Oh,
Story of my life.
Gosh darn it, Kevin.
I know. Kevin,
Lucky
you
for
done
him, he's
goofed.
very handsy.
And I'm hoping that's how I react in real life too, honestly. This was a lot about, that explains a lot. Ooh. Yikes. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm
All those
hoping that
Kevins.
casting blindness would freak him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Does he
I'll
let
roll for I'll roll for a Kevin freak out.
Yeah.
The last roll was a 4. This one's a natural 18. So Kevin is like, it's already dark in there with you, and so he's just almost like, oh, it's darker, I still feel you, So that was your action. Bonus action.
Cry.
Oh, that'll
Some
give him more
moisture.
That'll give
moisture
him some
too.
moisture.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
All right.
Ugh,
So make me another Constitution saving throw. At
I don't wanna.
the end of your turn.
I know. Okay. Constitution. Blech, 9.
Seriously?
He's gonna kill me.
This time you will take 12 dehydration damage.
Ah!
So the 4
Unless you're
temporary
4.
go first.
I know.
And
I can
then
dehydrate
take damage. Hey,
I know.
hey.
I know. He's just doing his job.
I know. That's what. Hey, Kevin doesn't feel great about this, but he can just take you with him, as it were. A little piece of you will always be in Kevin.
I hate that. I
know. I know. So you've cornered our creature, and it is his turn. So I mean, it doesn't really have a choice. You forced his hand. So he is going. No, there's no roll on that actually. Murder and Fiat, you need to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh. That's a 7.
Murditz was a 3, so
Oh gosh.
not good on both sides of this.
So disappointed in him.
So this is
Let me roll up. I've got an extra inspiration point I should burn tonight before rules take effect tomorrow. Let me roll it one more time. Unless you'd rather destroy it, just do it. That's fine.
No, it's no. You know what? No, it's fair. You want to use that inspiration, you can, but I'm just letting you know I'm going to use mine against you.
I got a 6. Go ahead and burn your inspiration point on me.
I will, because I was basically. I'll use it to make it happen. So I use mine. That's fine. So suddenly, as we leave here this week, the psychic scream in your head, Viet and Murdet, and anyone within 30 feet, which the rest of you are not. This effect is called drone. You now are connected to the thoughts that are being sent to you, which is defend me, kill your friends.
Great.
Yay!
Great.
And it's not so much
Awesome.
in words, it's just this is your absolute, your king, your queen, this is the bee's knees. Those people out there, defilers. Go
This
kill
thing
them.
better hope that I do not come out of this.
Fair. I get that. So that is where we will leave
Sorry,
off
everybody.
this
This
week.
isn't gonna be
Sorry for
pretty.
sorry for the late session, and next week we will get to see some team on team destruction.
Now I'm
Okay.
clear.
Fun.
We're gonna see.
Oh, I got some sauce for Kevin first up though. So, but
Yeah,
Oh
and
man,
save that.
Kevin.
you are first up, Callan, when we return.
Mhm.
Though who knows, maybe we'll re-roll initiative, seeing as the actual what's it called, the doesn't matter, the vibe it starts with an R. It starts with an R. Doesn't matter.
Rooster.
The rooster, thank you, of this fight has dramatically shifted the moment. No, it's an M word, momentum. Good Lord. Yeah, sorry. It's almost
Those aren't even close.
10 o'clock for me and us here in the Central Time. So thank you everyone for joining us as I ramble because it's late, and have a great week. I am DM Scott, with me as always.
Killian.
And Mick.
Chris.
And Catherine.
Have
Good
a great
night.
week.
Bye everyone.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.